Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to an amazing opportunity to learn about how you can feel good every day and create a life that's really empowered. This is our Balanced Life, Happy Life. This is a weekly gathering that happens on Tuesdays, and we introduce people to some amazing stories as well as some basic concepts. So this Happy Life, Balanced Life is promoted by the company Nikken, and they have some amazing products, a fantastic community, a great philosophy that allow people to really live their very best life each and every day. That also comes along with an income opportunity, which a lot of people are interested in as they create their perfect life. So I'm going to introduce you to a master at living well. He has been a wellness consultant with Nikken for many years. He started his life studying as a younger person aerospace engineering and chose the path of an entrepreneur rather than a rock and roll star. His son is pursuing rock and roll. His son right now is in LA doing what dad didn't do. And the reason Mike did not is not because he lacks any talents and gifts in that area, but simply he saw a vision for helping people to live happier, better, healthier lives. He does it, he shares it with other people to let them know how they can do it too. So you can just wave your hands or you can clap, but please welcome Mike DiMuccio to the stage for our Balanced Life, Happy Life tonight. Mike, we're so glad to have you with us.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you as always. And welcome everyone who are watching either live or on the playback. I am always thrilled to share a little bit about what I've learned about this wonderful company, these incredible technologies, and the opportunity that has changed lives and trajectories of lives across the globe for many, many decades. And so tonight I'm going to share this through the lens of a presentation I helped put together that I'm really proud to share because I really think it tells a story. It tells a story that people need to know about. And as we go through this, you're going to see how few people really actually even know we exist. And yet it's a story that really needs to be shouted from the rooftop. Balanced life, happy life. Is it possible? Is it really possible to have a balanced life, happy life? And I can tell you after 33 years of living this experience, yes, it absolutely is possible. I started living that way after only a few short years of my involvement with Nikken. And so we feel compelled to tell you we think we found a better way, and it just keeps getting better. Now, this first image here on the slide here, humans being more. What does that really mean? I chose this specifically because I think it represents this thing that we have with people who perform. There's this affiliation we have with people who perform. We seem to connect with them on some level, maybe living vicariously through that moment when they're live and performing, because it's like they're living their best life. They're out there putting their heart on their sleeve, belting it out. And that's really what I think it means to live a life of being more, being fully impassioned, fully empowered, and so fully in your skin, just living your full potential. And that's really what this represents. I think Nikken has a solution for that, but it's not something that we see very common out there. As you look around, the people you know, people you care about even, I'm pretty sure that the look on their face is not like that woman singing. There's all kinds of modern issues creating stress that are affecting people on all fronts: financial worries, health concerns, lack of time, unhealthy lifestyle, many demands on their time, and the list goes on. I mean, it is stress is the number one culprit in so many people's lack of quality of life. And so how do we change that? How do we actually navigate through those rough waters? Well, the answer, first of all, we have to ask ourselves and be honest with ourselves: is our life in balance? I want you to have a look at this chart here. We've got what we call the five pillars of wellness: body, mind, family, society, finances. These are the five key areas of our life, how we live life. And I want to ask you, if you had to choose one that you wanted to improve the most this year, 2025 represented the year that you made a monumental shift in one of these five areas. I'm going to ask you to write in the chat right now. So find that chat, look up at the chat, and write which of the five pillars, and I'm going to read this as I see them come up on the screen. Which of these five pillars would you like most to improve this year? So go ahead and start writing in the chat, and I'll just read them as I see them. Okay, what I've got: finances, 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 family, finances. Anyone else? Society. All right. Finances, family. Okay, I think we get the point. Finances, mind, mind. All right. I think topping the list, as you can probably tell, is finances. Of course, finances is the number one source of stress. So for sure, it's going to be the thing that tops the list. Most people are financially stressed. So let's get back to this and really look at, is there a solution for financial stress? Now, normally when I do this, there's two that come up as number one and number two. Finances always comes up as number one, but I usually hear body, an improvement in someone's physical health is usually number two. Tonight it was mind, which is not a bad shift, but clearly finances tops the scale. So we're going to really focus on that later in the presentation. But let's talk about how the change actually happens. First and foremost, this incredible concept called the compound effect. I think it was Einstein who called this the eighth wonder of the world. The idea for a big change to happen in our life doesn't really require a big change to happen in our life. It's just a small change. But when compounded over time can become a big change. Think of an airplane. If it's flying over the Pacific Ocean, if it's 1 degree off course, it's not much. But by the time it gets over the ocean, it's going to be a long way away from its original plan. So small choices with some consistency and time can create a radical difference. And we're talking about any category of life: income, health, relationships, happiness, success. The change is minor when consistent of time factors in. This is when it becomes the compound effect. So what we really need to become aware of the choices that we have that can lead us to the life that we want. Now let's take a look at this incredibly sobering comparison and an example of what I'm talking about. If we look at North America in health, their approach to health compared to the Japanese approach to health, and we look at the facts tell the truth. The facts tell the story. The index rating for health in Canada is number 34, the country I'm living in, USA number 68, whereas in Japan, they're number one. For longevity, USA 40, who's number one? Japan. They live almost 10 years longer than us on average. The cost, this is a big one. We spend 12,914 compared to their 4,360. They spent 1/3 the amount of money in the area of health and create the healthiest nation on earth. You know, somebody ought to be asking the question, what are they doing? And maybe we should be copying them. And what about obesity? That's a big one. That's a huge factor in many of the health concerns that we have here in the West. Men, 34%, women, 27%, whereas in Japan, it's 1/10 the percentage. So obviously there's something they're doing right, and we should probably be learning about it. And it's not a coincidence that tonight we're going to be talking about a company that originates from Japan and some of these concepts that they're delivering to the public in the West. The West focuses on sick care, while Japan focuses on self-care. This is the fundamental shift. Complete opposites. In fact, in Japan, they spend 90 cents of every dollar preventing illness, whereas in North America, we spend 90 cents of every dollar in intervention. So clearly, that's a better option. Now, what are the areas that we can actually improve on? There are health risk factors that we can mitigate, such as poor sleep. You know, most people don't have a good night's sleep on average. And so just improving the quality of your sleep can improve the quality of your health and your lifestyle. In fact, they say sleep is the number one determining factor to health and longevity. So what happened if you slept a little bit better every night henceforth? What's the compound effect of that? Air quality. 7 million people a year die to a premature death because of air quality. Well, we may not be able to do a whole lot outside, but we sure can do something about our air quality inside. Water quality, of course, that's in the news almost every day. We know there's thousands and thousands of chemicals that are affecting our systems, our body's endocrine system. I can't even pronounce it, but I know these chemicals are harmful, and we can get them out of our water. Electrosmog, this is kind of the new age one. Symptoms: fatigue, tiredness, concentration difficulties, dizziness, nausea, heart palpitations, pain, digestive issues. I mean, holy cow. I think everybody can say got one of those going on. Is it possible that your Wi-Fi or your cell phone or all of that is having an effect? And the answer is yes, it is. It's measurable. And of course, there's the malnutrition issue. We've got kids now having problems in their health, adult diseases for children, and of course, obesity is brought on by malnutrition. So we talked about stress. So are there things that we can do? Yes, there are, and that's what we're asking people to consider. Being healthy by choice, not by chance. That's really where we're coming from. Choose empowered living. And we're going to introduce to you a company that introduced this concept to us some years ago. And that company is called Nikken. Born in 1975 in Japan, this year they're going to celebrate their 50th year. They have a new definition for success. And it's really the pursuit of balance in these 5 areas. I mean, think about it. There's a lot of people who've been pursuing maybe finances in their life and end up having a heart attack at 50, or many adverse events in their life and their lifestyle compromised because of one pursuit. What they thought was the pursuit of success. But what if the pursuit of success was balance in these 5 key areas? What if that was the definition of success? Then as long as you're pursuing it and you're moving toward it, and when you can measure that every day, if you're on the right track today. Let's say for instance, your body. Did you have a good day? Were you really fortifying your body or not? You can tell. It's like a GPS system. Anyway, enough about what I've said about it. Let's hear what Nikken has to say about it.
Do you ever have days where everything in your life feels in balance? When your mind is clear and your body feels in tune with nature? When everyone in your family is healthy and happy? When you belong to and support a warm, loving community? When you have a stable income and no debt? Mind, body, family, society, finances. Nikken calls these 5 areas of our lives the 5 pillars of wellness. We help you cultivate balance in all 5 areas of life with the tools that build your wellness home. Because to breathe is to live, we focus on clean air. Because water is life, we focus on pure water. Because healthy food nourishes strong bodies, we focus on nutrient-dense organic ingredients. Because everyone needs restful sleep and energy to feel joyful, we focus on rest, relaxation, and magnetic support. And to keep you as youthful looking as you feel, we focus on naturally sourced marine organic skincare. Our vision is to share the 5 pillars of wellness with everyone. And we want to spread the word throughout the world. Because once you achieve a balanced lifestyle, wouldn't you want to help everyone you know to achieve the same wonderful life of active wellness? That's what we offer everyone who is part of our global wellness community. Join Nikken to build your wellness home and live a life in balance. Discover it, live it, share it.
All right. Certainly like the sounds of that. Now, you heard this concept called the wellness home. What exactly is that? But before I get into that for a second, I just want to share my quick story. I wasn't going where I wanted to go in life at the time I was introduced to Nikken. I was aerospace engineer graduate. I was pursuing a career in music. That fell apart. The record label fell apart. I ended up working as an electrician for a friend of mine. And that short stint was only supposed to be a couple of months. It lasted 3 years. So I was doing something I didn't want to do in a profession I had no business being in. And then one day I was hit from behind in the van and sustained a low back injury. And that began another journey: physiotherapy, chiropractic care, massage therapy. I was in somebody's office every other day. And it wasn't until a friend of mine called me up one night, right out of the blue. It was a cold winter night. He said, "Hey, I think I might have found something that can help your back." And he had discovered Nikken. He had discovered a product. He thought, "Hey, well, I wonder what this can do." He tried it on me. We tried it on me. And sure enough, within about 15 minutes, I had relief for the first time in a year and a half. And then I did what that video said. I wanted to tell the people I cared about, because my dad was suffering from a problem that he had been suffering from dramatically, and he could barely walk. And so I wanted to give it to him to try. And sure enough, within about 48 hours, his whole life changed. And that was the beginning of my investigation of what is this and what could this really mean for other people. So why would you consider a wellness home? What exactly are we talking about? We're talking about the integration of nature back into our lives. We live these lives of isolation. We've really isolated from the things that are really important to sustain us. Think about the biosphere, what has sustained and allowed life to thrive on planet Earth. Well, Nikken is taking that concept we call biomimicry, which is my integration of technology into our home to replicate nature, science replicating nature. And we do it in the most fundamental ways. I'm going to skip that video tonight and just go right straight into the wellness home. What does it really mean for us? It means taking our environment, the place that we count on to regenerate, and making it so that it has an effect that's life sustaining, such as a greenhouse. Think of a greenhouse for plants. Well, imagine a greenhouse for humans, where we've got pure, fresh, clean water, air that we can breathe that mimics that of the forest. We can sleep like we're sleeping connected to the earth. Nutrition that is whole foods. It's real. It's whole foods. It's the kind of nutrition that your body not only needs, but that has to have in order for it to be thriving. And then, of course, energy technology. How many people complain about not having any energy? Well, there's no mystery to that. We know what the cause is and we know what the solution is. So the Nikken Wellness Home protects our body inside and out, creates an environment that sustains us through these five key areas, the five vital elements, science that replicates nature. Now, there's a whole number of products that we can introduce you to, and there's a presentation that takes place tomorrow night and every Wednesday night that allows somebody new to learn more and more about Nikken products, because there are a lot of them that we take advantage of. But there are some people on this call that have some stories that they can share, because we say facts tell, stories sell. It's much more powerful to hear how some of these products have affected people and have given them a new empowered life. So I'm going to call upon some of these people on the call to volunteer their story. If just please unmute yourself so we can see who you are, who's unmuted, and please go ahead and share a minute or two about how these Nikken products has changed your life. Now, I don't want to have to call you out, so I want to have volunteers just volunteer themselves. Debbie, I see you've unmuted. Share with us, would you?
Yes. My experience with Nikken, very similar to yours, Mike. I had an issue where I'd injured my back in a corporate sports challenge, and everything that traditional medicine was throwing at me, it just wasn't working. I had physical therapy, I had medication, and nothing was working. So I got back to work after having to take off for a while. And a young lady shared with me, she said, let me have you try this magnet, which sounded crazy to me. But she insisted that I try it. And it's like you said, I had not had relief in several weeks from my injury, and finally, I was able to get some relief with my back. And I was still in physical therapy at the time. So I was able to get a professional, in the regular kinds of spheres of health to confirm that what she had been attempting to do through so many different kinds of methods, none of those were working. But she said this muscle is finally, in a relaxed state. So I know the magnets don't cure, but the good thing that it did is that it helped my body to do what my body was designed to do. And so it was truly a blessing just to discover a magnet, just to discover Nikken.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing. Sherry, I see that you've unmuted, and Nancy Holden, I'll come to you next. Sherry?
Yeah, thank you. So I had a bad back. I was a massage therapist. This is going back 28 years ago, and it was affecting my sleep. And so I jumped in with a blind trust, leap of faith that these magnets were going to somehow fix my back or help my back so I could stop hurting all the time. And I was taking a lot of over-the-counter medicine that was tearing up my stomach. So, 28 years later, I'm 28 years older and my back feels better. I'm more energetic than I was that many years ago. The thing I also want to just add on to that is that I love loaning products. Not everybody does that, but I love the products to speak for themselves. I was referred to someone whose hurting, lots of things going on with her. And so I was checking in to see how she was doing. And she's like, I think it's helping. I'm not sure. That's oftentimes what happens. I said, okay, well, what I want you to do is stop using everything. She's on sleep products and daytime products that are the different technologies. I said, stop using it for like, 3 or 4 days. And that way you'll have a comparison to see. And we were talking about it. And then she said, wait a minute, I'm going out of town this weekend. And I'm afraid if I stop using it for 4 days and then I'm miserable on Friday. I said, huh, okay. So she said, I guess it's really helping a lot more than I realized. So, that's just something that sometimes we forget, that this everyday thing that we carry around. And that was a real awakening for her. And I'm excited to hear what happens next week when she is willing to stop using it and then come back to it. So
Oh, I think we all know what's going to happen.
I think we all know.
Nancy.
Well, when I was introduced to Nikken by a friend, I had not fortunately had any of these accidents like you guys are sharing, and I wasn't taking any drugs or anything else. I didn't think I needed it. But she talked about athletes who were helped immensely in recovery. And so that really got my attention since my husband was a longtime basketball coach and baseball coach and all of that. So anyway, I totally believed her, and we got a sleep system. The first thing we got was a pillow, but boy, we got the whole sleep system after about a month. And I thought I slept fine. And I'll tell people about, you've got to try this. And they go, no, I sleep fine. So I went, you don't know what you're missing. You do not know the rest and recuperation and energy you will have if you get true sleep. And some of them believe me, some of them don't. But that is what really caught my husband's attention, was the change in him. He helped his players too, but wow, that sleep system is fabulous.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned athletes, because we have a special guest who's going to share his story in a few minutes, who's a professional athlete background, and quite an amazing story, both from the product side and the business side. So let's get back to our story. So as you've heard, and I hope you've heard, I think somebody said 15 or 20 years, or for me, 33 years. Can you imagine products that people want to talk about some 20 or 30 years after they were introduced? Those got to be some serious products that make a real difference in people's lives. And that's really the power of Nikken's technology. How do you connect with nature? There's many ways that we can offer you. I suggest you just go online and start shopping. The person who invited you to the call tonight can share with you their personal webpage link. You can go and explore and learn more about the Nikken products. In fact, on the first page, there's a quiz. Take the quiz. It'll tell you so much about yourself and where you really need to start focusing your attention on some of these areas of health and well-being. It's a very unique approach to total wellness. Nikken's kind of the one-stop shop when it comes to total wellness. We also have some amazing packs that Nikken has put together that are offered at a discount along with free shipping. So if you want to really immerse yourself in any one of the technology categories, water, such an important influence in our overall health and well-being. Energy, that was one of the packs that I started with. When I got started, the configuration was a little different. We didn't have all the technology that you see on display here. And of course, sleep. Sleep, as you've been hearing, the cornerstone of our health and well-being. So I always say 1 pack is good, 2 is better, and 3, man, that's the cat's meow. So one way you can involve yourself with Nikken is just simply as a customer. Go shopping, and that'll cause you to become a customer, and there's no obligation. It's just you get finest Nikken wellness technologies in the world. But there are other options. Some of you are listening, and some of you chimed in and said you have some financial pillars that you want to improve on this year. Well, if you're looking to improve your financial pillar, upgrade your account, become a consultant. Again, there's still no obligation, but now you now turn the engine on of an incredible income opportunity. And if you're like me or some of the people on this call who have a real passion for making a difference in the lives of others, that was something, by the way, I didn't even know about myself until I got involved in this. And that's what I discovered first about me, is that I really did have a passion for people. Become a community builder. Help us expand this community and this outreach into the marketplace. Let Nikken become a household name. Well, so why would you build a Nikken wellness business? Let's start with, why is it that people have such a need financially? What is the cause of financial stress? Well, we don't have to go very far to understand that. This is from Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. He talks about the four ways in which people earn income. Most people are clear on the left-hand side. An employee represents about 75% of the population who have a job, and 20% who are self-employed, which essentially means they own their own job. What do? At the end of the day, they trade time for money, a direct exchange of time for money. That's the time value economy. And the problem with that is the statistic you see in the middle here. 5% of the population, or excuse me, 95% of the population, this 75 and 20, this whole 95% of the population only earn 5% of the money that's being earned. That's a problem. Meanwhile, over on the right-hand side, there's only 5% of the population, but they earn 95% of the money. Now, you might want to be critical of that, but I'd rather just simply know, how is it that they do that? And the answer is they operate in a different economy. First of all, they own their own business, but it's not just a typical business, a business where they can leverage. It's a system, and they're able to add value independent of time. They're able to create many sources of income. Some people own multiple businesses, many tens of businesses. Well, how is that even possible? Because they're not in a time-based economy, they're in a value-added based economy, and that's what Nikken allows. It allows us to partner with this company, leverage their technology, their platform, their products, and create for ourselves multiple streams of income. Let me talk a little bit more about that. Every time we share these products or the story with somebody, people want these products. And so if you have a Nikken account, you can share the information of how they can get them too. They just go to your website, they shop, and that creates an income for you by sharing the products. That's our retail model. And there's a great profit center there, 30%. Up to 30% of the products that people purchase are coming back to you by way of income that is deposited into your account once a week. Now, the small business model, this is where you can get some help. Some of the people you're sharing this with, they too may have financial stress or an improvement that they want to make this year in their finances, in which case, show them how they can upgrade their customer account, and they now have exactly what you have, the Nikken platform, the Nikken products, the Nikken technology, and they can start sharing. And as they start sharing, you're earning an income up to 40% bonuses on the activity that they are creating. Now, it's not just you, but it's you plus the team of people you introduce. Now, there is a third option, and this is the one that I took particularly close attention to. I really was captivated by this one because it was a lot like the kind of income one would earn if they were a successful musician. And this is where we get paid 6% up to 6 generations of activity. That means, think about it this way. You know, when a farmer plants a seed, they don't expect a seed to come back. They expect a harvest, right? And so when you start sharing with people and they start sharing with people because of the Nikken system, that can create a community. And when you're earning 6% of the business volume that's generated by that community on an ongoing basis, a recurring income, an income independent of your time, but an income that can continue to grow and last for generations. Now you've got something that people really want to know more about. Let me give you a visual of this. Let's say that's you right here in the top left-hand corner. That's you in your Nikken wellness home. You just got started with Nikken. You just introduced yourself and your family to some Nikken products. You're really excited about these products, and you want to start telling people. With a little bit of training, we say, hey, there's a good way to explain this to people. Let's show you how to do this. In fact, we'll help you do it. And now you've accumulated 5 brand new customers who, like you, really see the value of this. But not only customers, there are some people who decide they want to join as a Nikken consultant like you because they too have a financial need. So there's your little pod, your little core nucleus, we call it, your core group of people. Well, what happens when those 3 people that enrolled start sharing with others? Well, they're going to create their own following. And this is where those multiple sources of income start to come in. Greater influence, greater impact, greater income, up to 6 generations. So so-and-so tells so-and-so, who tells so-and-so, who tells so-and-so, who tells so-and-so. And this can go not just in your neighborhood or your town or your city or your province or state, or even your country. Nikken is operating in multiple countries, and so this business can expand into multiple countries, into multiple languages, which it does. And now you can be earning an income from activity that you had a hand in getting started, but that you don't really have a hand in keeping going. And if you're like the people on this call, once you learn about these products, you don't want to give them up. So these are products you become a consumer for life. Imagine helping to introduce a movement to a new generation of people and profiting from that the rest of your Nikken life, the rest of your life. Think of it this way as well. We can count pretty much how many seeds there are in an apple, but we don't know how many apples there are in a seed. Every single person you share this with could lead you to an orchard, and that could be a windfall for many of you. How is it possible? In this day and age, technology makes a lot of things that we could have not conceived of possible. Think about how Amazon became the biggest retailer in the world. They did it so quickly, and they did it because they empowered people to become sellers on their platform. Uber, same thing. Biggest taxi company in the world doesn't own a taxi. And how did they do that? Because they empowered people to turn their car into a profit center that they can do part-time and earn an extra income. Some people do it full-time. But the one thing these two opportunities don't offer is multiplication, the ability to actually multiply, because an Uber driver can't go out and find 10 other Uber drivers and earn an income from that. But a Nikken consultant can go out and find 10 other Nikken consultants and earn an income. And that doesn't stop there. It's 6 generations of that can happen. So Nikken is a platform that allows people to multiply. We're the Amazon or the Uber of the wellness space. And you can do it anywhere. Our technology makes it possible for you to literally be on the go and do it and weave Nikken into your busiest of lifestyles. I do Nikken whenever I have the opportunity. I've even done it on a beach, just like the one you see in this picture. In fact, quite a few of my Nikken phone calls have happened from a beach when I was living in Barbados. So how does it work? Basically, enroll, join Nikken, share and promote these wonderful products and the opportunity and the philosophy of Nikken. Invite people to enjoy the best parts that Nikken has to offer and that suits them. Nikken does the tough stuff in this equation. There's no need for inventory, research and development, warehousing. Nikken has all that. Nikken takes care of that and ships the products directly to the end consumer. So you're not even in the middle of that. And what they do then is they send the rewards to you and your team by way of commissions, special offers, incentives, bonuses, recognition, and luxury trips. Sounds to me like a pretty sophisticated but simple system. And if you're looking to become an entrepreneur, maybe this is the first time you've ever even thought about being an entrepreneur, it helps to know that you're not alone, and it helps to know that there's a platform that actually offers you the tools and the education to make it possible. Easily integrates into your life. It's minimal cost, as we talked about. It's actually under $40 US to get enrolled. Turnkey entrepreneurial system, a leadership development plan, and tremendous rewards where you're not just trading time for money, but you could build a gig traveling the world. I know this is the kind of lifestyle that a lot of young people are looking for. They don't want to be in an office. They don't want to be in a building. They want to be out and about, being able to create a lifestyle while at the same time enjoying the benefits of a business of their own. This is the perfect gig for them. And like I said, you're not alone. You're going to get help from the people who've done it. Now, one of the first things that we want to introduce you to in terms of this journey of entrepreneurship, or just getting started as a Nikken consumer, is the philosophy that drove Nikken into an existence that's now spanned the globe and is now operating 50 years this year. It's called Humans Being More. You heard it first mentioned, but it's actually an opportunity for you to really brush off the cobwebs and start imagining what your future could look like. What are your priorities in life? We have a curriculum and we have a special program that you can participate in online. And that happens with regularity. You can find out more about that. For under $20, you can participate in something that could really help you focus in on what it is that's important to you and start this journey of improvement in those 5 areas. Now, we're going to turn to some fun. We have some global wellness entrepreneurs in our community here on this call, and I want to invite a person that I've asked to be on the call today. And he's a friend, he's a colleague, he's a person who has a professional sports background. Herb, I see you're muted. You need to get unmuted. So once again, figure that one out. And just a little bit of background. Herb started his professional career as a tennis player. He was actually in the U.S. Open. And he's gone on to do some pretty amazing things as an athlete. And as he is figuring out how to get unmuted here, he's going to share with you a little bit about his background, his story, his product experiences, and what his Nikken, how that led to an opportunity for him, and what that's done for him as he's traveled around the world with Nikken. Herb, I know you're having a problem getting unmuted. You work on that. Don't worry, no pressure. I'll ask someone else in the meantime if they want to share their story. You know what? I'm going to turn to a fellow from Quebec here, Leo Lemay, who is on fire. He has just spent a few days in a workshop with Tony Robbins, and I know he is super, super excited about his future and what Nikken's going to do for him in 2025. Leo, would you unmute and maybe share a little bit about why you're building a Nikken business?
It's me, it's my turn.
Yes, it is.
Oh, thank you, Mike, to invited me. Yes, I'm a fire because for me in Nikken, when I reached Nikken, no, I have Nikken 26 years ago. It's the most important product for me. It's a business opportunity. You know what? Because I'm broke. I was broke on that time, and I don't have money to buy any product. I have a problem with my health, but no money. That's why business opportunities for me is the best. And the last week, me and Mike, we followed the meeting with Tony Robbins. Wow, it's amazing. And for me, 2025 is a huge year for me because I got to reach my big dream to be the first Royal Diamond in Quebec and finish the money problem with that. That's why. And thank you, Mike, for my coach, personal coach for that. Thank you so much. And I have already an appointment for Thursday night.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you, Leo.
She was on the Tony Robbins.
Oh, okay. You met somebody on that show, on that program. Good for you.
A lot of contact.
Good for you. Good for you. Wonderful. Herb, you're still having trouble unmuting. Keep working at it. I know you can do it because you've done it already once tonight. So keep working on it. Who else can I ask? Who would like to volunteer their business story? Or shall I volunteer you? Michelle, I see you've unmuted. Michelle Kowalchuk, where are you coming from? What's your background?
I am coming from Meadow Portage, Manitoba. It's way up north. Very small community. We have a total population of 75 people. I love it, love it, love it. My corporate background is accounting and banking. And I developed an entrepreneurial mindset, and I opened a home-based daycare while our kids were really young. After 10 years of that daycare, I thought I'd venture back out to the corporate world for a short time. Today, alongside of my Nikken business, I currently co-own a family home-based business in construction and building. Nikken came to me when I was hurting really, really bad. I had tried everything, so I thought. And 25 years ago, a customer, while I was working at the bank, approached me and offered a solution. I was in a position at that time, I was the top leader in our district with that bank for customer service. And I was on the verge of losing my job because I couldn't cope. Within a matter of days, I noticed the difference. I felt better. I was happier. My demeanor had improved. But when I saw it with my family, the improvement on them, it really caught my attention. And it was then pointed out that there is a business opportunity here. I was again looking for something to bring me back home, to be closer to my family. And Nikken offered that to me. I looked into it, I embraced it, and it gave me a lifestyle that when I was working at the bank, I could only dream of. It made my dreams come true. I love what I'm doing. It gives me the opportunity to live my life on my terms. I get to do my business in my hours. I'm not being told when I can take holidays, I can go whenever I want. This is a total freedom, complete freedom, not only in health and well-being, but financially as well. And I know I clicked the financial pillar because I want more money to help society. That is my goal right now. And I get to spend lots of time with my hubby, 3 kids, 12 grandkids, and I get to go and visit them whenever I want. How cool is that? So I love being involved with Nikken. I love co-creating. I love helping other people achieve what they are looking for. Because you know what? That's what makes a difference in society, is reaching out and showing that you care.
Thank you, Michelle. Herb, I can see you're still stranded there, so we're going to have to try this the next time, maybe on your laptop or something. We're going to move on. If you do happen to unmute while I'm still talking, just go ahead and shout out. All right. So as you can see, clearly there is a number of reasons why someone might want to join Nikken. There's so many reasons. I did. The one that I cherish the most is the freedom that I've gotten from being able to raise a family, travel the world, and enjoy. My time is mine. And if you're somebody who's really, really looking for a way to own your life, to have the freedom to be able to choose the things and do the things that you want to do, it really takes building a business that is independent of time. Yes, there's going to be time involved at the beginning, but to grow it into something that allows you to leverage time and other people's ambition, there's no price you can put on that. So let me give you a snapshot of what's happened since Nikken's entered the market in 1989. The last 35 years in the US and Canada, that was in 2024. What have we done so far? About 2 million people know about us, about 2 million homes. That's 1.25% market penetration. Not a lot of market penetration. So there's a lot of people out there that don't know we exist. And yet look at the business that we've done, about $4 billion. Now, the business that we've done so far is largely due to the population you see on this screen, baby boomers, people who are somewhere between 60 and 78 years of age. But they started like I did when we were much younger. What we're looking to do now is help those new Gen X and millennials who are now coming of age. What I mean by that is they're coming into a place now where they're starting to experience the stresses that we did when we were first introduced to Nikken. They're starting to experience the physical stress. They're starting to experience the financial stress. They're starting to experience the stress of being torn in different directions, wanting to be with their family, but are sandwiched. So what about them? By helping them see the value of this, they're going to help us move into the market. 5%, 10%, 15%. What volume is Nikken going to be doing when we start to become a household name? And the cool thing about that is the people responsible for helping Nikken to become known in the marketplace, they earn the income. Half of that income or half of that business is going to be paid out in commissions. So why not be a part of the next 35 years or maybe just the next 5 years and change your life and the trajectory of the lives of so many others? That's what's on the table here, folks. So yes, you can be a customer and enjoy your Nikken Wellness Home and your Nikken Wellness technologies. Or you can share them. If you're an enthusiast, you want to share this with other people, $39.95, you can upgrade your account, and now you're in the game. And join some of our calls, join some of our team calls, and learn how to be a community builder. And invite others to those calls, and you can grow your business like this call. We have this call and others like it to inform people. If you want to know more about the products, join us tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, same channel. And you'll learn more about one or more of the categories that are going to be presented tomorrow night. All these calls are recorded and posted as well. If you'd like access to that, just ask the person who invited you for that information. And on Thursday nights, if you'd like to know a little bit more about the income opportunity, I and my colleague, Dave Rolfe, co-host a call called the Business Launch. And that's where we get into the meat and potatoes. So come with some good questions, and we'd be happy to answer your questions, show you what it takes to get off to a good start. So if you want to feel good every day, and who doesn't, you can do that if you join Nikken and you're allowed Nikken to empower you to do so. So Jeff, back to you.
Mike, thank you so much. That's the key word, empower you to do so. And people can make that choice. They can make that decision where they're committing tiny little habits each day that all start to add up, where someone experiences exponential growth and literally feels empowered, like they have control in every aspect over their life. They have balance in the 5 pillars of wellness that we focus on so much in Nikken. So Mike, thank you so much. Thank everybody else who offered their testimonies and sharing. Again, I will post this so people can share. If you have somebody in your life, if you're just learning about Nikken, you'd like somebody to learn, you can use that link in order to help people find out more. So thanks everybody. Have a great night and we'll see everybody soon.